Hey, what's happening, guys? So, today I want to talk about basically what makes this program different than a majority of other programs. So, when you look at taking into consideration the elements of getting really fit or getting really healthy, there's a couple of things that you want to master, right? So, you want to really master nutrition, you want to really master diet, and you really want to master recovery. Those are kind of the three things, right? So, if you have let me run through that one more time. If you have your nutrition, you have your workout exercise plans, and then your recovery, those are the three things you want to master, right? So when you think about going into nutrition or weightlifting or recovery, those are like three different almost disciplines that have a bunch of different skill sets tied into them. So not only is it the elements of like getting the protocols right, it's being able to modulate and customize those protocols for your own personal body. That's what trips a lot of people up, right? Because you'll see people who do like keto, or you'll see people who do intermittent fasting, or you see people who do pure macro counting, and then you try it and it's not perfect for you, then you bounce around to some other stuff. So the primary goal of the Spartan 1 training program is to hit it from a different viewpoint. So if you are a person, right? So think about it like this. You're a person and you have a mind and you have a body, right? Person is Greek for persona, right? So what is a person? What is a persona? Persona is a mask, right? So this is going to get a little deep, but think about it like this. What you really are is you're a soul and a personality in a body with a mind, right? If you want to break down what a human being is. So what you're essentially becoming, if you're not that already, is a person who is optimized or a person who is elite, right? So that person has a certain type of body, that person has a certain type of mind, they have a certain type of cognitive function that comes with that mind, they have a certain thought process, they have a certain energy level that comes with that body. So you put all that stuff together, what is that? That's an identity, right? So you're creating an identity, if you don't already have it, of somebody who's really healthy and who's really optimized, right? So what happens is you can go independently and you can learn these different skills, or you can focus your mind, because your mind is really good at focusing on one thing at a time, on you being and or becoming the person who has mastered all those different things. That's the shortcut. If you think about it like that, right? So you can either go through all of these different things and learn them all piece by piece and piece it together and still be a person who's always like learning about this stuff, or you can backwards engineer it and you could reprogram your mind to be the person who's already really proficient at these things, and watch your body and your subconscious pick up some of that slack for the lack of experience you may have in some of these different dimensions. Good example is when you think about, I had a meal prep company for years, and people would come in and they would struggle with their weight. And then you'd have other people who ate the same things pretty much, and they would not struggle with their weight. And the thing that you would notice is that people who struggle with their weight more often than not had a self-concept and an internal identity of being someone who didn't like their body, right? And just one way that would manifest is that they were overweight. You have another person who eats, crazy, and their story and their self-concept was somebody who, I've always been skinny, I've always had a great metabolism. It was part of their identity. It wasn't questioned, right? Because when they were younger, they probably got reinforced. They ate a bunch of stuff. They're always skinny. And so their parents were like, hey, you're just a kid who has a great metabolism. You're lucky you can eat whatever you want. Whereas if you're somebody who was maybe overweight when you're younger, your parents were like, hey, dude, don't eat that. You're going to get fat. Oh, look at you. You can't help yourself. And then they form a negative self-concept off of that. Self-concept and internal subconscious reprogramming is one of the most powerful things you can do, because if you can get that identity right, that identity will carry you through a lot of bullshit, right? And you don't want to do it from a backwards process standpoint. You don't want to build your identity on actions. You don't want to have to do something to be that person, because that'll fuck you up too. If you have to eat a certain way in order to see yourself or feel healthy, then you're fucked. Because the second you go on vacation, that's where all that guilt comes from, and things that, fuck you up. That's what happens, right? So you want to build that identity. You want to program that identity into your mind in such a way that you are that person, regardless of external things, habits, processes, places, whatever, right? Because if you can lock in that identity, you are that person. And by maintaining being that person, that will regulate a lot of your thought patterns. It'll regulate your subconscious to adopt that identity, and then habits and protocols will follow from you being that person. Like if you just go, I am a fit person, no matter what I need to do, I'm just a fit person, right? And you say that enough and you program that into your mind enough, you will start to think, feel, and operate like a fit person, right? Instead of like doing all these things to be a fit person, but every time you do it, you're just like, I'm just not fit. This is so hard. Blah, 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 blah. Because you're fighting that identity level of yourself, right? So what we do is we get that identity right first, and then all the other stuff follows. So if you're interested in becoming a more optimized, more healthy version of yourself, I've got a couple of things in the works for Spartan 1. Basically, we're going to be doing coaching. We're going to be doing different courses that help you reprogram that concept. I'm going to teach you how to put that identity into your subconscious so that you don't have as much resistance, and you really just become the version of yourself that you want to be, in terms of I focus on performance and physical athletic type outcome shit, but you can really use this for anything that you want to do. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, hit me up in the DMs. I'll send you over the information. Peace.